Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And I hate to say I told you so.
No, you don't.
I don't really. No, actually we kind of do. But we're going to say we told you so because when Bob Iger exited Disney, well, he didn't exit the company, but he left the position of CEO in a hurry.
Yes, very quickly.
We said it was suspicious as hell. It was very, very suspicious. It did not seem planned. And everybody said we were crazy. They're like, no, no, no. They've been planning to replace Bob Iger for years. This is normal. This is fine. The house is not on fire. The castle's not on fire.
I mean, the way he looked even at the interview, he just was staring at the floor. He looked like a guy who just got his butt kicked, you know?
Yeah, so something is absolutely positively going on, and I feel somewhat vindicated that we've been vindicated. The Hollywood Reporter, we had a friend of ours send this article over. They even did original artwork for it and everything. They said that Bob Iger's Disney announcement was rushed because it was, and apparently other executives in the company only had a couple of hours notice that Bob was stepping down as CEO.
That Bob was becoming Bob.
Bob was becoming Bob. Bob, what about Bob?
I was going to say, what about Bob?
What about Bob? So now Bob Chapek is going to be left holding this downward trend, and it is going to get pretty bad this year, especially with that thing we can't talk about without getting demonetized. Disney stock is bound for a sea of trouble this year. We've got Disney's stagnant year ahead. All of these came out in the last day or two.
Yeah, and rational people have seen the trends and will call it what it is. You get a lot of these other places and they're like, oh no, it's all wonderful here, it's happy here, it's great here, yeah, it's peachy, you're just a bunch of haters. It's like, no, this is just a realistic look at what the hell's going on. Yeah,
it is a very sobering look. I think it's a very sobering look.
Well, that's because that's the reality of the situation.
Yeah, Disney is not going to be in a good place this year. I mean, obviously Disney's not going to go belly up. I don't think there's any way they can, but they overspent on Fox. They've got that thing we can't talk about that's blowing through the parks overseas, and it might impact the parks here. And you know, they're not, you know, the government's saying don't cruise. And they're spending a ton of money on cruise ships in an island. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, they didn't know. I mean,
I know they didn't know, but that's not going to be good. And now we've got this change at the top. And this article, too, from LRM Online, Disney Plus is struggling, and Bob Iger's job is going to be to work to beef it up.
Well, he should, because it's his disaster. And the fact is, they didn't... They have a lot of subscribers going into it. Like I said before, there are a lot of free subscribers. People are like, it is not a failure, it is a success because there's so many subscribers. Yeah, no one's saying there aren't a lot of subscribers. Whether they're all paid or not is, you know, up for debate. But we do know that a lot of people are leaving because they said that there are not a lot of things for adults. There's not a lot of original content. There will be original content coming, but it is not there yet. And people are concerned about this.
Yes, they are, and they have a right to be, especially shareholders. I mean, they're already cutting back in the parks. I do not think this is going to be a good earnings call this next quarter. I think it's going to be disastrous. People are going to have a lot of questions.
Speaking of the parks, we talked the other day about the parks. Well, since then, we've had a couple other, you know, things. Haunted Mansion came back online, and then it went down again because someone left the maintenance store open. Apparently, there's a maintenance store in the attic, which who knew? It was really, really cool to see it, but it ended up bringing the Haunted Mansion down again for a little while, and now People Mover was evacuated again yesterday, and then it was down, I think pretty much, I don't know if it's back up yet, but it was down today. They had a sign up, it was still down. So they're having all kinds of problems in the parks with, I don't know if they're not maintained properly.
I think that's it.
Or someone has you know, a voodoo doll at the park, because they have those little wishables. Maybe they're like sticking needles in it. I don't know. But there's something going on.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on. I think they're cutting back on expenses wherever they can. I think this includes maintenance. I really do. I think it's as simple as that. I think they've been cutting back for quite some time on maintenance in the parks, and it's starting to catch up with them now. But yeah, I had this friend send this article over from the Hollywood Reporter. As the company elevates Bob Chapek to the top job amid the thing we can't talk about in economic turmoil, his predecessor will still hold the creative reins like a CEO, but without the stress. That's interesting. Now, what's interesting, really interesting about this is that the people at the top at Disney didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, that is interesting. It did seem very rushed. I mean, we keep up on this news it's, you know, there are a lot of people talk about it, but this is what we actually do. We did before we started doing this. So we kind of keep tabs on it. And people who would know are like, were like writing us and being like, oh my God, did you see this?
Yeah, nobody saw it coming because usually, and they point out in this article too, they said usually a transition like this, they would mention it during one of the shareholder meetings or something.
They would introduce it, yes.
And okay, so they said the announcement blindsided the top Disney executives, including direct-to-consumer chairman Kevin Mayer, who was supposed to be.
Yeah, he's probably like, wait, what?
I didn't get the job. That's how I found out I didn't get the job. Top TV exec Peter Rice and film studio chief Alan Horn. Alan Horn, who's in charge of overseeing Marvel and Lucasfilm and all of that. He's the big boss. He's one of the most powerful people in Disney. He didn't know. The three only learned of the change a few short hours before the rest of the world. The impact on morale at the highest levels is unknown, but seems unlikely to be good. Also worth noting, having promoted Chapek to CEO, the company named no successor to run the theme parks.
Not yet, no.
That does not seem to signal careful planning.
That's something we've mentioned before. Usually they have someone in place that they'll say, okay, we're announcing who we think will be coming to take over. They don't just shift without having somebody to take over the job. And they just shifted without someone to take over the job. And it was really, really strange.
Well, that's what they said. They said the sense of haste is out of character for Bob Iger.
Yeah, he's usually pretty like laid back and like stroll along.
Yeah, but he said, he always wants to at least give the appearance of there being, you know, everything's under control and it's fine. Everything Bob has done is perfect, a former Disney executive.
I wouldn't say that, but okay.
No, but he's widely known as exceptionally image conscious.
That I would agree with.
And deliberate about presentation.
That I would agree with.
So that was not, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
oh my God, everything we said.
Everything we said. Right on.
A couple of old Disney hands commented in separate conversations that the appearance seemed uncharacteristically slapped together. Bob is always groomed to perfection. He has a very specific on-camera appearance.
Exactly.
That was not the Bob we saw on CNBC.
It was not. It looked like someone had just slapped him down, and then poor Chapek looked like a deer in the headlights, like he didn't know what to do. So I just want to say one thing. Suck it, haters. Suck it. Because we know what the fuck we're talking about. Sorry, Mom.
So, Iger is going to stick around to work apparently on building up Disney Plus. I think they pushed him out, and I think they told him, you clean up your mess before you go.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's why he still gets to stay. Because he has a contract, and it would look worse for them to just suddenly get him gone, you know. I don't know why. We don't know what the real reason behind why they did it. It could be a number of things. I do think they went ahead and pushed it through because the stocks were falling.
Yeah.
They just figured they could use it to hide it. You know, like they're going to blame everything failing on the thing we can't talk about now because if anything fails, it's going to be because of that. Whether or not it is irrelevant. That's what they're going to blame. I think that's what they did. They just hurried up and it's already falling. Do it now so we don't have a fall twice.
Well, people are saying they think that Disney stock is gonna bottom out at least in the next couple months because again, you know what we talked about. They don't have the movie lineup this year. Onward just, it didn't bomb, but it didn't do what they thought it was going to do.
It's almost like we know what we're talking about, you know?
It's almost like we know what we're talking about.
Imagine that.
So this is what they're talking about with Bob Iger. Bob Iger's job, while he's still with the company, is to get Disney Plus up and running. Good, because it seemed like
it was his baby.
It was his baby. All of this, the Fox, Disney Plus, all these acquisitions, this was all on Bob Iger. And Chapek is going to have a hell of a mess to clean up. And I'm being completely honest, he is not the right person for the job.
No, he's really not.
He's not.
It's no offense to him. It's just that he doesn't have the skill set for this kind of thing.
And, and I think Iger way overspent. And, people made comments before about the Roman Empire getting too big to manage. And I have to kind of wonder if Disney isn't too big for its britches.
The only reason they picked Chapek was, I think, two reasons. One, he was there and he was ready to go, and two, because he has been doing so well on cutting costs and raising prices at the park. And then the park is, like we talked about, 50-some% of their operating, money comes from the parks. So he's been, building that back up for them while they're losing money with Star Wars and they're losing money with, Disney Plus and Fox and all that. He's been bringing money in. That's why they came up at not much of a loss last time. I don't like his methods. I don't think it's right. They call him, budget cut Bob for a reason.
Yeah.
I think that's why we're seeing so many things breaking down now. But you can't argue the fact that he was bringing up the money when they were hemorrhaging other places.
Yeah, and that's what's going on here. Because, I mean, they spent a lot, and I kind of have to wonder how Bob spun this to the board. Like, well, if we go, basically, it's going to be a slam.
The board, not the Borg.
The Borg, yeah, might as well be the Borg, right? Now, Bob is the Borg queen, I think. But I think he spun to the board. He was like, okay, well, we go by Fox. We're going to get all this wonderful Fox stuff. And we're going to spend billions of dollars on Disney Plus. This is a slam dunk. So they get Disney Plus up and running. And they even point out in this article, the launch was successful. Most people would be thrilled with it, but they said the interest is waning. There's no new content. There's nothing buzzworthy like The Mandalorian.
Well, they were just even so desperate. They were taking things like Pixar internal videos and slapping them up as shows and things because they're so desperate for content. They need another year on this. Probably before they launched it, but I think they wanted to beat everybody to the punch. Plus the fact that Bob Iger was on Apple's board when they were setting up their Apple Plus, Disney Plus. It was a little weird.
There's some weirdness going on. Does anybody even talk about Apple TV now? Nobody's even really talking about it.
I guess it's Apple Plus, maybe it wasn't.
It's Apple TV Plus.
Oh, Apple TV Plus. I knew there was a plus involved somewhere.
There's a plus. They should have like Apple Plus, where they actually have good shows. Like you can do Apple TV, you can watch TV. It's not so good. Apple TV Plus, there's a couple of good things on there. And then Apple TV Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.
Where you can add the anime onto it. Well, and it's good.
This whole thing with Disney Plus too is the fact that, and the Fox deal was it was never supposed to cost as much as it cost.
No.
And instead of backing off and letting it go, he doubled down until he ran up to $71 billion, which they're like, well, they're Disney, they can handle it.
No.
Thing is, they were Disney, but they were already doing Galaxy's Edge. They were already doing all these Star Wars films. Now you're getting, not only are you buying Fox, but you're doing the Disney Plus with all the content creation, all the money is stretched there. They're building a new headquarters building in New York City right now. There's a lot of things going on, and it's like you can only stretch the rubber band so far.
Yeah, because, when the rubber bursts, there's a lot
Someone's
of things.
Fucked up.
There's a lot of things to worry about. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you need to worry about.
Sorry, Mom.
What are you talking about? I was talking about rubber band being stretched.
Sorry, Mom.
So, yeah, a lot of people are calling it now. Disney stock is in trouble. Like, even though the entire stock market has dropped, Disney is, like, really dropped. You know who hasn't dropped? Because I just checked today. Checked on my handy-dandy little stock app, and our Netflix stock is up.
Yeah, is it because they were all like, "Oh, they're going to kill Netflix," and we kept saying it's not going to kill Netflix. Not HBO Max, however, might give Netflix a bit of a run for its money.
I think HBO Max is the only legit that I've seen so far. I think is the only legit Netflix competitor because they do have so much content and they plan this out. You can tell, like they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have all these shows at launch,"
which is what Disney should have done.
Yeah, you're freaking Disney, but they're spread so thin. They're spread so thin.
When you're making all that new content, you have to have, that's why we're not getting anything until later for, Marvel and all that, because you have to have time to make it. And it's going to be here, and it's probably going to boost it up when it gets here. But, it's going to be a little bit of time until it gets here.
Yeah, and the thing about, Disney this year, I think this quarter is going to be really bad, obviously, because the overseas parks. But you have to realize, we talked about this in the other video, their operating income, 58% of it comes from the theme parks.
Right.
If people aren't traveling for whatever reason, that is huge. That's a huge blow. It's almost all of their revenue at this point is theme parks and studios, movies.
Right.
And they're not doing so hot.
Yeah, they're not doing so hot in the movies. And I'll tell you what, if you look at a lot of these blogs that are owned by, travel agencies or people that would get money from Disney, they are like shilling the hell out of traveling.
Oh my God.
I'm still going, it's okay. There's nothing to be worried about because, it's hot dang it. You're going to be fine as long as you're healthy and, wash your hands and don't go anywhere near people that look sick. Well, that's great. Except people that are sick, that are contagious might not look sick and contagious. But, we're going to keep going anyway, and don't forget to double book your cruise too. Make sure you book 2 this year.
Oh my God.
And they're like spending this stuff, and it's like, okay, look, I do think the media is over exaggerating the thing we can't talk about. I 100% think the media is overdoing that, but I also think there are more concerns to it that people are overlooking. Like, why are people buying so much toilet paper? People are like, oh, because they won't be quarantined. No, it's because the supply chain is disrupted. There is a very good chance in a couple of months toilet paper might not not be readily available. I think it has more to do with that. Now, that being said, don't hoard things. That's stupid. But I'm just saying, you know, it's not as bad as the media is making it out to be. I don't think it's as, you know, brush-offable as these sites are making it off to be. So I got brush in there.
Brush-offable?
Brush-offable. But I think the truth lies in the middle. And I think it's just if you're reasonable and rational, it lies in the middle. But these blogs are like doubling down on the whole, now's the perfect time to book a trip because the costs have never been cheaper.
Yeah, of course they haven't. Because right now the travel industry is in the toilet. I mean, we're not going to talk too much about that thing we can't talk about. But again,
well, I'm just seeing a trend with because it's so important that these places do well.
Is their single biggest revenue earner is the parks, and
Which
if people
we've been saying
stop going to the parks, Disney's screwed.
That's why they were flipping out so bad about Galaxy's Edge not performing before they opened Rise of the Resistance. It matters, and I don't know what else to tell you guys. We've been all of this stuff that these people are saying too. We've said the day it happened.
We said it because, you know, working in and around Disney, we knew this was unusual. Especially with Bob Iger, he does plan things out, you know, months, years.
We've been doing this. We've been doing this for years.
Yeah, we've been, you know, we were Disney bloggers for years, you know, and you get a feel for how the company works, and that whole thing on CNBC, his announcement, that was not normal. That was like not even, I mean, even like a B-list company wouldn't have thrown things together like that.
And his body language, both of them. I mean, one of my superpowers, as we call it, is I'm very, 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 very good at reading people. But you didn't have to be good at reading people to read that. It was so obvious. I mean...
Yeah, it's bad. So I think we're going to see more come out. I don't know if we'll ever get the full story again, but it is good to see... I guess it's good to see that, you know, there are other sources that are verifying what we suspected, which is this was not planned. This was very, very rushed. And I think it's going to have, I'm going to be honest, I think this is the year that the bubble is going to burst, the Disney bubble. And I think that the company is going to have to eat a bunch of humble pie.
I think so too, and I think Universal's coming right behind them to pick it up. They're already offering a stress-free thing going on with their bookings, stress-free booking procedures. That if you book, you can get refunds and all this other stuff. If something happens, you cancel your plans. So there are people coming in to pick up the slack. I think that you reap what you sow, and that's what's happening here. I don't think that everything's their fault. No, I'm not going to blame them for everything because there's no way they could have foreseen some of the things that are going on.
Right.
It's not all their fault. But there were a lot of choices made that were stupid ones that are biting them in the butt now. And that's what's going on. They
overspent. They bought too much. They grew too big too fast. They bought stuff they didn't understand how to manage, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, it's you know, the roosters are coming home. Coming home to roost. So... chickens are coming home. Is it chickens or hens or roosters?
I don't know. Stop being sexist. Does it matter?
The birds. The genderless birds.
Of course you thought it was roosters and not chickens.
I'm just always thinking about cocks.
That's right. We both.
What? So, the genderless...
I love you, Mom.
The genderless birds are coming home to roost.
That's right. The chicky nuggies.
The chicky nuggies are
coming home to get in the barbecue sauce.
That's right. They're going to be barbecued. Hot damn. It's going to be one hell of a party. All right.
I tell you again how much I hate people putting Baby Yoda with chicky nuggies. Oh, I hate it so much. Anyway.
He did frog legs.
He never said chicky nuggies. Anyway, let's go.
All right. So we're going to wrap this one up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.